This is Doofy McButterscotch, and we're here to finish up Charlton Heston. 2 more movies left. The greatest show on earth. It's about a circus. And Charlton Heston is the head honcho. There to take control of the whole circus, make sure everything's all going good. And there's a few more other characters there. There's the great Sebastian, who is an acrobat played by some actor I've never heard of, and a few other girls in there as well as circus performers and fire twirlers and whatnot. There's a lot of shit that's going down in the circus, a lot of stuff, and they even have Jimmy Stewart in there. Oh. Yeah, they got him in there. So it's a decent movie. I mean, some old movies are pretty boring, but this one, it's got so much going on, I don't think it's in that category. So I give it a thumbs up. It's pretty darn good. I like it. And then there's Planet of the Apes. Not the remake, the first one. And I think this one is fairly interesting too. Charlton Heston is the main guy in this movie too. It's about apes. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a little slower paced since it's one of the older movies. It takes a little while for the action to get started up, and the apes talk a lot more than they do in the remake. There's not as much battling, but it's still a pretty decent movie. I definitely would watch it more than some of the other shit I've had to go through, but I think it's pretty good. I like it. It's about apes and monkeys, and they got a lot of different apes and monkeys. I think they even have an orangutan in there. It's good. Anyway, what do I think of Charlton Heston? Well, I think before I watched any of these movies, the first movie I really watched with him was that one movie about Columbine with that one director, James Moore, or Michael Moore. Michael Moore was the director of that movie, and I watched Charlton Heston get confronted there. So he's an old-fashioned all-American guy, so I probably wouldn't relate with him much. But I mean, he's decent. He's okay. His movies are good. Don't hate the guy. But anyway, we're moving on to Dustin Hoffman, and as you can see, I've circled the name and put a number above it, which means I've watched all 10 of his movies. So we're not going to get done with his movies in this video, but we'll get a start. Let's see, Rain Man, we did that one already. Hook, let's see, did we do that one? Let me think. Nope, I don't think we did. Hook. Well, it's a Peter Pan movie, and you know, there's only 2 or 3 good Peter Pan movies out there. Of course, the classic, and this one, and if you count it, the remake, which is why I said 2 or 3. I haven't seen the remake, so I can't give an accurate opinion of that one. So, what's Hook like? Well, it's basically a sequel to the animated movie. So if you've seen the animated movie, this is basically a live-action version of what transpired after that event, which is very interesting because I like following the story. I like movies that have a continuation, as long as they're needed continuations. Like, I'd never fucking watch Rain Man 2 because that'd be some stupid ass shit. But some movies are good for sequels, like the Peter Pan series. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get to the movie Hulk. Not Hulk. Why did I say Hulk? That's not right. Hook. Hook is what we're talking about. And it's got Robin Williams playing the role of Peter Pan, and Dustin Hoffman is unrecognizable as Captain Hook. I think he did a pretty darn good job in Hook. It was very entertaining. One of my favorite childhood movies. I used to watch it all the time. back to back to back. I mean, it's one of those movies that you can watch over and over and over again. Highly recommended for the kids. Very good. The only scene that's kind of iffy for the kids is when a pirate is thrown into a snake chest, which is a little bit barbaric, but it only lasts for a little seconds, and they try to make you forget about that scene as quickly as possible. It's to show how cruel Captain Hook is. But anyway, it's a very good movie, and I could talk for ages about it, but that would mean I'd only talk about 2 Dustin Hoffman movies, and we've got about 3 more minutes to talk, so let's move on to Outbreak. Oh wait, hold on. Morgan Freeman. We already did that one. Tootsie. Let's do Tootsie. Is it about Tootsie Rolls? No, not quite. It's about Dustin Hoffman playing the role of a woman, as you can see by his rolls. He plays the role of Michael Dorsey / Dorothy Michaels. He used the name Michael twice. Ha 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 ha. It's clever. But anyway, is it a laugh out loud hilarious movie? Yeah, not quite. I mean, in its day, in 1982, it was a pretty hilarious movie to watch, but nowadays there's so much good shit out there, and the whole guy playing the role of a woman has been so overdone these days it's hard to acknowledge it anymore. But this is a pretty decent representation of the whole thing. I give it a thumbs up. And they've also got what the hell's his name again? Bill Murray. It's got Bill Murray in a small role as the best friend of Dustin Hoffman to kind of witness all the craziness, because he dresses up as a woman to get his wife back, I'm pretty sure. So it's a wild movie. Wild movie. Oh, I think we've only got 1 or 2 minutes left. So we're going to have to... Let's see, Sleepers. I think we might have did that with Kevin Bacon. I'm just going to double check, because it's been like ages since I've done any movies on here. Yep, we did Sleepers already. Okay, skipping on to Dick Tracy. I know we definitely haven't done that one. So Dick Tracy, what do we think of that one? Oh, Dustin Hoffman doesn't play as big of a role. He plays Mumbles, which is one of the minions of Al Pacino, who plays the main bad guy. And they've got some other guy that plays the role of Dick Tracy. I'm not as familiar with his work, and his name escapes me. And they've got Madonna as the female heroine, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's a pretty good comic book movie representation. It's got a lot of action. It's got all these deformed, weirdo-looking bad guys and mobsters and stuff. And of course, the good guy looks like a normal human being, but all the bad guys are like weird-looking. So I like it. I like weird-looking bad guys instead of like normal-looking ones. But it's good, and they have a twist at the end too. So it gets a thumbs up from Doofy McButterscotch. And let's see. I think we've got 30 seconds. We're not going to be able to talk much about these other 4 movies, so let's see how many of them we've already reviewed. I think Kramer vs. Kramer, The Graduate, we still got to do those. Sphere, we got to do that. Hero, we got to do that. So all 4 of those movies we can do in the next review. So I'll see you next time and review those 4 movies and finish up Dustin Hoffman. See you later.